So I was going to start this video off today by talking about money management. I was going to talk to you about some apps that you could use to help manage your money, some investment strategies, things that could help you become financially smart, possibly financially stable. But I decided to kind of trash that topic for now. Maybe that'll be later, and just kind of talk to you. So I was scrolling through Facebook, actually, I want to say a couple of days ago, and I seen a post. I forgot who posted it. I wish I could give them credit, but unfortunately I can't. And the post said, making $70,000 per year, but spending $69,500 is actually what's keeping you broke. And someone who makes $45,000 but only spends $30,000 is actually richer. Now, you see, wealth is created by increasing the gap between what you make and what you spend. It's not how much you make, it's actually how much you keep. Now, this hit home because when I was younger, I was never taught about money management. So every time I got $100, I would spend $100 that same exact day. And I would do this with like birthday money, Christmas money, any type of money that I got from my family. And I know most kids usually do this, but I wish someone was there to teach me how to actually save my money. But not only did I wish that they taught me how to save, I wish they explained to me the reason behind saving your money. This ignorance towards money followed me all the way through high school, also my first year of college, and actually up until fairly recently. When I first got my credit card, it was actually my first year in college, and it was the Wells Fargo student card. It had $2,000 as a credit limit, and I maxed that out within the first week. And the worst part about spending that $2,000 is I don't even remember what I bought. All too often we get money and we think that we can just spend it however we want, and what comes from that is probably piles of junk in your closet or somewhere in the corner that you don't even remember when and where you got. Now, the thing that I do remember is struggling to pay this $2,000 bill off. And I didn't even have a job yet. My interest rate was 0% for the first 15 months, and I thought that this was amazing, considering the fact that I told myself that I was gonna pay this $2,000 off before those 15 months were up, but boy was I wrong. Now, what I also didn't do was research on what the interest rate was gonna be, or APR was gonna be, after those 15 months were over with, and it turned out they hit me with a 24.99% interest rate. So I was paying the minimum payment every month, which was $25, and on top of that, the interest rate every month, which amounted to $499.80 per year of money that wasn't even helping me pay off my card balance. So I finally got a job towards the end of my first year in college, and this job was working in the school's cafeteria as a server, and this allowed me to set aside some money to where I could pay off that $2,000 card and finally get out of debt. And once that was over, I swore to myself that I would never get myself back into debt. And then after that, I dropped out of college and moved to California, where I got a job as a cashier at Walgreens. And then I moved to a new bank and opened up a new credit card with a $2,000 limit. So in total, I had 2 credit cards now with a total amount of $4,000 that I actually went and maxed out. Both credit cards to the max, $4,000 in debt, after I had just sworn to myself that I wasn't going to do this again. Oh, and can you guess what I spent my money on? So if you guessed that I didn't remember what I spent my money on, you'd actually be wrong. I remember exactly what I spent my money on. All $4,000 were actually spent on a scam. I got scammed for $4,000. Multi-level marketing person came up and pitched this get-rich-quick scheme, and I fell for it. I thought that I was gonna go and I was gonna promote their products after I paid $4,000 to get to different tiers, and they were gonna take me on this cruise vacation thing, and they were gonna pump me up and get me excited and get these products out to the world. And yeah, if you know how multi-level marketing goes, then you understand what I'm talking about. So after I paid that $4,000 and realized that they were lying, I actually still went through. I proceeded to buy traffic and try to get it to a little website that they built for me. Used their little banners and plastered them up on Craigslist. And guess how many sales I got? None. Absolutely none. Zero. And I worked at that for probably 6 months. Yeah, about half a year. And still got nothing. So not only did I fall for this multi-level marketing scheme, I paid $4,000. This also took me an additional 4.5 years to pay off these 2 credit cards. That would be because I was paying rent, I was paying for groceries, so I was basically paying only the minimums on both, which is about $25 for one and about $50 for the other. And then I got hit with the interest rate, which I had to pay that extra $499.80 for the one card and an additional $499.80 for my second card, which again were getting me no closer to paying off either of these cards. Just extra money free for the bank. So after those 4.5 years were up, I was extremely excited because I finally was debt free once again. I was under so much stress. I got a new job, paid me more. And once again, I swore to myself that I would never get myself in debt again. And then the new MacBook Pro came out. Bought it. I bought the MacBook Pro. I just didn't want you guys to like sit there and guess. I bought it. $1,100 down the drain because I actually didn't even use that MacBook Pro for 3 years. The first 3 years that I had the MacBook Pro, never used it once. Now, granted, in hindsight, it was a good purchase back then. Not for $1,100, by the way. If I could do it over again, I would buy it used off of Craigslist. But it was great now because this is what I edit my videos on. But back then, after swearing to myself twice, getting in debt and out of debt twice, that took me a total of about 5.5 years to get out of. I put myself in $1,100 worth of debt. I don't even know what I was doing, honestly. Like, what the hell, man? I could have just saved all that money. So I got tired of running that rat race of just constant debt, paying off cards, putting money back on cards. I would basically get paid just to put my entire check on the credit card. And then I found that when I put the entire check on the credit card, it comes down. But then now I have no extra money, so I have to reuse that credit card. So then it goes back up again. And it's a constant flow of putting money into a black hole, basically throwing it into a fire, because I'm just going to end up using it again, which was making it go back up, which was a terrible situation all around. So a couple months after that, I came across a video of Graham Stephan. It was the first time I've ever heard of Graham Stephan. He was talking about credit scores and how you can get out of debt. Basically, it was talking about all around credit in general. And you know, he went into APR rates and different credit cards and what credit cards you should apply for if you're a person that has no credit. But what got me was something that is probably a no-brainer for some people, but this is the first time that I've ever really dove into money management at all. And that was him talking about kind of like a snowball effect or an avalanche effect. And one of the ways that you could pay off your debt is starting to pay off all of the highest interest rate first, the highest APR rate first. And then from there, you work your way down to your lower APR rates and pay those off over time. And as I was watching this video and other videos of his, it was kind of like an aha moment. It was the moment that I realized how much money I was wasting and how I really had no idea what finance was. And then from there, that led me to meet Kevin and his channel and how he teaches you how to invest in his stock market updates and what's going on with Congress and all around America with inflation and live streams or market open and market close. It just got me really interested, not only how to invest, but actually how to invest smart. So this is just a little story on how I kind of became interested in finance. It wasn't too in depth. I could go into depth in another video if you guys wanted to. By no means am I a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who's learning how to invest, and actually fairly recently, like I've told you before, I started investing in January of this year. I don't have the biggest portfolio. I'm not the smartest. I don't know how to do options yet. And all of my investments are basically long-term hold growth stocks. But every time I learn something new, I'm definitely going to put it on here, and hopefully I can inspire one of you guys to also become an investor or just be smart with your money. I've been doing a lot of research and I would love to relay it to you guys. Hopefully I can teach you guys something too. So I guess this video was mainly like a story time or a venting session. And I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come and stop by and watch my videos and hang out with me a little bit. I hope that this is kind of like a lesson to people to, you know, wake up, get it into gear. You know, your future depends on what you do now. And I don't want to see or hear about anybody making wrong decisions and actually regretting their decisions financially later on down the road. And don't be ashamed of anything you don't know. So for instance, if you make a mistake, if you were to try options, if you want to invest and your investment fails, just think of it as you're paying tuition to the market and to your future self to learn what you don't know. Don't be afraid to grow as a person. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.